Okay, hello and welcome to video 18. Today we're on House Lake, Wylands International Angling Centre, and we're doing 48 hours after carp. Okay, as I just said, we're here for 48 hours, well slightly more actually, after carp at Wylands House Lake. Some of the more sharp-eyed among you will have noticed in the intro a bit of a change. That's because I now am in partnership with Wylands, and I'll talk to you a little bit more about that in a minute. But yeah, so hopefully we'll have a good trip. I've already had, you'll see on the outtakes at the end, I had a little run, or sort of half a run, stuttering run. The line went slack when I was doing the intro a second ago, and so it's good signs. But yeah, I'll see you in a minute. Okay, literally, what would you give that, cameraman?
5 minutes?
5 minutes, sitting down, reading a bit of Angler's Mail, and the left-hand rod, that's the margin rod, which I haven't even talked you through yet. The margin rod just roars off. Firstly, the line goes absolutely slack, and then the rod tip's getting pulled round, and yeah, into a lovely 7-10 common within about 5 minutes of 48 hours. So it's got to be a good sign, hasn't it? Lovely looking fish. Typical commercial carp, but really good fight, spirited fight, and yeah. That was on a double Frankfurter hook bait, just hooked with a Quorum quick stop. I'll take you through it in a minute when I rebait, but yeah, cracking start. Lovely. Okay, here's the rig that just caught me that fish. Really simple, sort of same carp rig you see up and down the country on any water really. It's just a Fox leg clip, and I've got a 1.5 ounce lead there, just on that leg clip. This is 12 pound ESP fluorocarbon. Through to I think that's a Gardner Deceptor hook, I think size 10 barbless of course, and on that just 2 pieces of Frankfurter, which did have a quick stop, but the quick stop came off in the fight, so it doesn't make too much difference. Just thread those on, then a bait stop through the middle, and yeah, that's ready to go back out. My right hand rod is just out, pretty much there, just right in the margin on a nice silt patch I found. So yeah, hopefully get a bite off that. I've already had a run and lost the fish. Hook pull, didn't tell you about that, but yeah, just had a hook pull off that rod, but rebaited, spotted up a little bit, and hopefully I'll have one. Because it's winter, just a little tip, unlike in the summer where you could spod for literally 20 minutes at a time, all it takes really is one spod, and these fish are absolutely fine, because you don't want to overfeed in the winter. Fish are less active, and for that reason you don't want to be too much baiting up. Here's the little spod. It's a Gardner spod I think, and just a little tip, what we've done here is we've actually gaffer taped the bottom couple of holes, apart from one there. You see we just peeled the gaffer tape back. What that does is when you're fishing with a spod mixed with lots of particles like mine, that allows you to cast it out without them falling out the holes, but by leaving one clear you can drain the water out as well. So retrieving is, well, it's a lot easier because the spod's not full of water. So yeah, little tip there. Okay, as I said, here's just a word about the Wylands thing. Basically, all this means is that I'm going to be doing quite a lot of fishing at Wylands, and I'm going to be producing videos for them and for their website, and I'm going to be directing you to their website and stuff like that. Just because, you know, I wouldn't usually accept an offer like this, because my view of commercial fisheries is not that great, to be honest. I think quite a lot of them are just money making holes in the ground, and you know, that's not my sort of something I want to be associated with. I like to think of myself as sort of an all-round angler, sort of commercials and wild lakes, rivers and things like that. But the reason I would say yes to this all day long is that Wylands is such a great place. It's got 10 lakes, all varying from, there's a specimen lake with 30-40 pound carp in, but there's also lakes right down for juniors, there's intermediate lakes, there's a lake called Rosie's where it's basically old-fashioned fishing, no bivvies or alarms allowed or anything, it's just fishing the way it used to be, and it's a really nice place run by really nice people. You know, everyone here is friendly, they'll always help you out, and so it's not going to change my videos at all. It just means I'll do a bit more fishing down here, but I'll still be fishing other venues and wild lakes and things like that. So yeah, that's basically all it is. And I hope you check out their website. It's just wylands.co.uk. I'll put a link in the description. But that's all I'm going to say about it. Yeah, so I'll see you later. Right. Okay, just as I was heating up my lunch, carp number 2 comes along. Probably about 4 or 5 pounds, another common. Taken this time on the right hand rod, which was the bait on 2 cc Moore engage boilies, on, well, sorry, a 1.5 cc Moore engage boilies on the far bank. Quite interesting, it hasn't got an eye on this side. I would turn him, but he's a bit of a flipper, so you have to take my word for it. But yeah, just a little accident there, but cracking, second fish. Just gonna have to clean my hands for lunch though, but yeah, lovely. Classic fisherman's lunch. Some Heinz spaghetti and a cup of tea. You may have noticed from the video of the lake at the beginning of the video that we're actually the only ones on the lake today. One reason for that, you know, could be that it's November, well, October the 31st, and it's pretty cold, but the other reason I think is that today or tonight is Halloween, and it's a really good top tip if you're the kind of person who likes peace and quiet and the lake to yourself, to come on Easter, Halloween, you know, bonfire night, sort of family holidays, because loads of people will have prior arrangements and family things to get on with, and so you can get some peaceful fishing to yourself. So a little tip there. Right, so it's come to about 4 o'clock. It's been relatively quiet since lunchtime, about 1 when I had that fish. Apart from I had an absolute screamer. Well, I've had a screamer on both rods. On the right hand rod, which was on the far bank, not on the far bank, I hooked into one, but I had a hook pull, and the left hand one, absolute one-toner, and picked up the rod. There was nothing there, but 2 huge bow waves just went straight out of the margin, and so hopefully I'll get them back in. I've rebaited and sorted that out, but that's on the Frankfurter, and a tiny tipped off with a bit of engage just to stop the bait stop pulling through the Frankfurter, because that's what was happening early on. So yeah, it's, as I said, it's come to about 4, and because the clocks went back last night, it now gets dark at about 4:30, or the light goes, and this camera doesn't shoot particularly well in low light, so I'm not going to be doing many vlogs this evening, unless I get some fish, and I am hopeful. So I shall see you with a fish, or just a bit later on. Okay, morning. As you hear by my watch, it is just struck 7 o'clock. Been up for about an hour, resetting the rods and getting everything ready. The night, in a nutshell, it started to get dark about 4:30. Then we stayed up and sort of tried to refreshen the rod and do what we could until about midnight. But it was the quietest night's fishing I've ever had. Not a touch on either rod. Literally, there were 4 rods in the water, and not even a line bite on one of them. And I expect that's because I think the fish pushed up the other end of the lake last night. There was a cold wind blowing down this end, and so I think that there was literally nothing here in the night. I woke up at about 5, and it was just starting to sort of, it wasn't getting light, but it was starting to sort of uncloud, and the clouds were moving away. And suddenly, from 5 until about 6, there was about 4 liners. I think 2 on one rod and then 1 on 2 or something like that. And as I suspected, and as we found from previous sessions, this end of the lake is a cracking bit of the lake for morning fishing. So the wind's actually picking up, you might be able to hear. But so what we're going to do this morning is we're just going to do what we did yesterday morning and had a few fish out on, and try and get a couple. And then in the night we're thinking about moving to the other side of the lake, because we think that's where the fish are, but we'll make a decision on that later in the day. So that's the update, and yeah, I'll see you later. Just turned about 8 o'clock and the heavens have opened. Not too much, just enough to get me into the tent. And yeah, hopefully this rain will bring on a fish. Incredible screaming take on the right hand rod. I'm thinking Carp clock, and I thought I was into a bream at first, but I thought it was a bit spirited fight for a little bream. Yeah, a perch, absolutely pristine, probably half a pound to a pound, but absolutely pristine, not a mark on him. Beautiful red colourings to his fins here and here, and dorsal fin standing up proud. That is a little perfect fish, that is, and really glad to catch it. Bloody optimistic fish. He took 2.5 15mm pointies. We tried to. But he's got a big old mouth on him, so he had a good go. But oh well, so just as the sun come out actually, so hopefully there will be some carp in the net. But for now, I'm happy to put up with Mr. Perch. Okay, it's come to about 9:30. We've been here for about 24 hours now. This morning it's been really quiet. It started to rain earlier. So we're just trying to work through it. We don't know what's the difference today. I think one of the main differences is that yesterday it was really cloudy and today it's much clearer, much higher pressure. The fish just don't seem to be on the feed as much. But we're obviously going to try. Got two good baits and 2 good spots. I've got confidence in both my rigs, and so that's all you can really do. So we're just going to keep plugging away, and yeah, I'll see you later. Spotless, I'm afraid. Yeah, that happened. We came over here because we're thinking about a move this evening, because that side of the lake is pretty much dead in the night at the moment. Don't know why, but it just is. And I spoke to the bailiff and he said it's been fishing well this side of the lake. So we're going to come over here for the evening, and I'm going to fish 2 rods. I was just going to try and do a bit of spodding to bait up, but because the wind's pushing down this end of the lake, I cast to the left of the island and it blew the line over a tree, and unfortunately that was the end of my spod, but I'll always get a new one. Yeah, so what I'm doing at the moment is I'm just leading around, just using, I think it's 2-ounce lead. I'm just banging that out and finding out what kind of surface I'm looking at, and actually, quite surprisingly, I found a little gravel bar. You can tell when you're on gravel in a swim, when you pull the rod tip back, it sort of jitters back as if it's bumping over something. That means you're on gravel, and that's what I found. So yeah, I'll see you once we're all set up over here. Okay, as you may be able to see, we've finished our move now. Moved everything around and yeah, hopefully try and pick one off from the main part of the lake. Okay, just as the sun's starting to set, about 3:30, absolutely rips off on the left-hand rod, which is to a weed bed out on the island. On a single CC Moore Odyssey boilie, 15mm, about 5.5, 6 pound, cracking little common carp. That's where that fish just came off, just off the edge of that weed bed there, about 25-30 yards out. Single CC Moore Odyssey boilie with a little bag of crushed boilies and pellet. Simple as you like. And then go pop about 20 or 30 boilies over the top of that. That'll sort me out. Simple. Okay, I doubt you can see me very well at all. It's only about 5 o'clock, but it's getting dark already because obviously the clocks went back a couple of days ago. Yeah, we're just going to settle down for the night. Simple tactics, PVA bags. Got one on us, so pop up and just see what we can get really. So I'll see you with the fish in the night or in the morning. But yeah, until then, see you later. Okay, I don't know how much of this you can see, but just had this about 6 pound common, absolute one toner on the rod, completely crazy. Left hand rod against that weed bed, ran outside, struck into the wrong rod, put that down, picked up the right rod and spirited fight, and there it is, cracking fish. I don't know what time it is, probably about 9 I'd say, maybe, actually probably less than that, actually, 5 to 8. But yeah, good start, just on a little PVA bag. We'll take a picture as well because I don't know how much of this you'll be able to see, but lovely. Okay, first mirror, about 5 pound, another absolute one toner on the left hand rod. Weeded up of course, but came out pretty easy. They all seem to be doing so far. So that's good, no snags, just a weed bed they're going into, but you can get them through that. And beautiful little mirror carp, absolutely full, cracking fight again. Thought I'd had a hook pull, but it actually just swam straight towards me. And yeah, lovely line of scales along its back, and yeah, cracking little fish, beautiful. I can see the steam coming off it, that's how cold it is tonight. It's crazy, but lovely little fish. Okay, morning time. It's now about 7:45. We've been up and resetting the rods for well over an hour now, and made some breakfast porridge. And yeah, we're leaving today, so probably we've got about 2 or 3 more hours of just trying to pick one last one off, and then we'll pack up and go home. So yeah, see you later. Okay, absolute one toner, 13.8, biggest from this lake I've had. A cracking fish, put up a really good fight close into the bank, got him in quite easy, but then when he got to the bank he was pulling around like nobody's business for a couple of minutes, so really good. Pretty heavy actually. Yeah, cracking first double from this leg actually for me. 13.8, just taking on a single cc more Odyssey boilie again. Yay! Right, just had that 13.5 pounder, and quick thing I wanted to say about it was that, well, now I've had, I think, 4 fish off that weed bed, which I wouldn't even have thought about fishing until the other day, until like yesterday. So what I'm trying to say is, like, if a move is on, if you think there's a move to be had, don't be afraid to do it. I had like last year, you see video 6 or something, we moved and get a little knock on one of the rods. Yeah, we moved and my friend had his PB, and now I've had the biggest fish from this lake I've ever had. And so if it moves on the cards, you think it might pay off, go for it, because no point sitting in a swim you're not going to catch it. Okay, yeah, basically it's coming, it's about 9, we've only got a couple of hours left. We're sort of starting to think about packing up and just turfing out rods with a PVA bag and just pellet and just seeing what's going to happen, you know. We're sort of ready to go. Another thing I was actually going to say is about night fishing. I've heard a lot of people said to me, like, when they ask me for advice, I say you should try night fishing or something like that, and they was like, oh, I'm a bit scared, don't want to do night fishing. And the thing with night fishing is you should really get into it from like as young an age as possible and do it for as much as you can, because I remember when I started night fishing I was absolutely terrified, even as much as a year ago. If you watch video 2, I think it is, we were on this lake about a year ago today, and that was scary, but you get used to it, and so do as much of it as you can, and now you just don't think about it really. So yeah, definitely try and do what you can. Okay, competition time. Said I'm going to do for one for a while. To win a tub of Dynamite Baits fluoro pop-ups in whatever size or flavour you want, and I'll send them to you. All that you've got to do to enter this competition is, firstly, obviously you've got to be a subscriber. Other than that, all you have to do is post your guess below in the comments. Like, not on the channel page, but just click on the video and then in the comments section. All you have to do is guess the total weight of fish caught that I've caught this session. I've told you the weight of some of them, so all you've got to do is just go back through the video and have a look. There's 2 skimmers that you haven't seen that I've added in, and yeah, so have a good go. All you've got to do to win one of these is be within 3 ounces, which actually isn't that difficult, seeing as I've told you quite a lot of the weights, and as many winners can win as they like, or as few. And if you go onto my Facebook page and like it, then there'll be a couple of clues on there with a couple of photos with weights to help you out. So yeah, have a good go, and good luck. What the hell is that? Looks like an otter. It's just gone. Must be an otter or mink or something. Bloody hell. Okay, I'm into a fish. Looks like a little common. That same week day again. Yeah, there he is. Well, isn't it that? It should be that. far as it can. Do you want to grab a net with me? Went straight into that weed bed, but managed to get him out. Okay, easy being another double. Stick him on the mat. Heavy bastard. Bring the rod. Oh, that's not bad, is it? Right, we'll see you in a second. 15 dead. Cracking fish. Taking on that single Odyssey again. Just out beyond that weed bed. You only caught the end of the fight there. The beginning was a bit hectic. Went straight into the weed. Had to try and get him out, and then brought him to the net quite easily. But a good fight early on. Yeah, amazing. Just again in the last few minutes. He's really heavy actually. I think he's a little bit hollow. I think he could be more than that in spring, but yeah, I'm not complaining. 15 dead. Absolutely cracking. Second double. Get in there. Just let him rest in the net now. Get his energy back. Get some oxygen in his gills. And then I'll be off. He's going now. Away he goes. Cracking fish. Oh! Okay, we've come to the end of a pretty good session actually. A move that paid off and some decent fish, so yeah, it's been good. So thanks for watching and remember to enter the competition. And yeah, just go out on the bank and have a bit of fun. So check out Wylands' website actually, wylands.co.uk. Link will be in the description. Just check it out if you live nearby, come down. Pretty cheap tickets, so you know you can have a go and see what you get. But see you next time and watch these outtakes. With some knots. Okay, right. Do you want to turn that off?
Yeah, it has gone slack. I picked it up. Got back by anyone? Oh, got a twig. Yeah, no, it wasn't definitely deep, didn't it?
Okay, as I just said, first class post. Bloody alarm! Hola!
If you want to catch a carp, you've got to think like a carp.
Okay, hello and welcome to video 18. Shit, hold on. Stop it.
It is 18.
Yeah, with the amount of blanking that he's doing today, I think he might need that. I'm into a tree. Multiple parts of the tree. This should snap the branch.
He says hopefully.